Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching NDTV. This is the news break and I'm Vasudha Venugopal. Today we take you to the state of Telangana where there's a war of words brewing between the Chief Minister Revanth Reddy and BRS leaders led by KT Ramarao after the Chief Minister made a reference to 16 harrowing nights. Now this is a case in which Revanth Reddy was accused of piloting a drone over KT Ramarao's farmhouse. Mr. Reddy was arrested and jailed for 2 weeks then. Revanth Reddy has said that had he been vindictive, the entire family of K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who is the BRS Supremo, would have been in jail by now. Now, BRS has shot back to this comment, saying that Revanth Reddy was not in jail because he had participated in some freedom struggle. Now, this has only escalated with the BRS and Congress MLAs sparring with each other over state's finances now. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has often claimed that the BRS is hurting the interests of the state. He, in fact, has also said that BRS now has completely aligned itself with the RSS. The BRS in turn has accused the Congress party of failing to deliver on its promises, including the loan waiver for farmers. While the Congress party has said that it was the BRS that used government money for free publicity. Let's decode all of these claims and counterclaims one by one. But before that, let's get you political reactions to this story and also this report that my colleague Uma Sudhir sent.
Drone egareste ఎవరైనా అనుమతి తీసుకోకుండా ఒక డ్రోన్ ఎగరేస్తే ఆ డ్రోన్ కు 500 రూపాయలు ఫైన్ వేస్తారు అధ్యక్ష. కానీ పార్లమెంట్ సభ్యుడిగా కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీ వర్కింగ్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ గా నన్ను అరెస్ట్ చేసి జైలుకు పంపించి మామూలుగా దానికి 500 రూపాయల ఫైన్ ఉంటే బిలో 7 ఇయర్స్ ఉంటే రిమాండ్ కే పంపరు, పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ బెయిల్ ఇవ్వాలి. కానీ అధికారాన్ని అడ్డం పెట్టుకొని అన్ని రకాల వ్యవస్థల మీద ప్రభావితం చేసి చర్లపల్లి జైలుకు పంపించి నక్సలైట్లు ఐఎస్ఐ తీవ్రవాదులు ఉండే డిటెన్షన్ సెల్లో ఒక కాంపౌండ్లో ఏ ఒక్క ఖైదీని లేకుండా 7 ఫీట్లు బై 12 ఫీట్లు ఉంటే అందులో 3.5 ఫీట్లు పండుకోవడానికి దిమ్మె ఉంటుంది, ఒక చిన్న బాత్రూమ్ ఉంటుంది అధ్యక్ష. 16 రోజులు డిటెన్షన్ సెల్లో ఒక మనిషిని చూడకుండా నన్ను నిర్బంధించిన ఆ కోపాన్ని దిగమింగుకొని రాష్ట్ర ప్రయోజనాల కోసం ఈరోజు పనిచేస్తున్నా అధ్యక్ష.
ఆయన ఏమైనా స్వాతంత్ర ఉద్యమం చేసి జైలుకు పోయింది అధ్యక్ష? ఏం చేసిపోయింది అధ్యక్ష జైలుకి? ఆయన పెద్ద సానుభూతి మేము పోలేదా జైలుకి? వరంగల్ జైలుకి నేను కూడా పోయిన తెలంగాణ ఉద్యమంలో. ఎస్ ఉన్నాం, అక్కడ బరాబర్ ఉన్నాం. మీరెందుకు పోయినరంటే నేను అడుగుతున్నా ఈరోజు. ఎస్ మీ ఇంటికి ఇవ్వాలని జూబ్లీహిల్స్ ప్యాలెస్ మీదకి ప్రైవేట్ డ్రోన్ పంపితే ఊకుంటావా? అక్కడ నీ బిడ్డనో నీ వైఫో ఉంటే వాళ్ళని ఇష్టం ఉన్నట్టు ఫోటోలు తీస్తే ఊకుంటావా? ఎవరి ఇళ్లలో పడతా వాళ్ళ ఇళ్ళ దొరబడతా, నా ఇష్టం ఉన్నట్టు చేస్తా, అరాచకం చేస్తా అంటే ఊకుంటారా అధ్యక్ష? ఇది పద్ధతేనా అధ్యక్ష? అంటే మీ కాడికి వచ్చేవరకే కుటుంబాలు, మీ కాడి కొరకు వచ్చేవరకే భార్య పిల్లలు, వేరే వాళ్ళకి లేరా అధ్యక్ష భార్య పిల్లలు? మీరు ఆనాడు ఇష్టం ఉన్నట్టు మాట్లాడినప్పుడు, లేని రంకులు అంటగట్టినప్పుడు, ఇష్టం ఉన్న సంబంధాలు మాట్లాడినప్పుడు ఆ రోజు లేవా నీతులు? చివరికి మా ఇంట్లో పిల్లల్ని కూడా తిట్టింది మీరు కాదా? ఆనాడు మా ఇంట్లో చిన్న చిన్న పిల్లల్ని పట్టుకొని, మైనర్ పిల్లల్ని పట్టుకొని బూతులు మాట్లాడింది మీరు కాదా? మీరేదో పెద్ద సానుభూతి కోసం మాట్లాడితే ఏం పని చేసిపోయినా మీరు జైలు. అయినా నేను అడుగుతున్నా, ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు నేను అడుగుతున్నా అధ్యక్ష, జైలుకి ఎవరు పంపుతారు అధ్యక్ష? ప్రభుత్వాలు పంపుతాయా? కోర్టులు పంపుతాయి. కోర్టులో మీరు ఛాలెంజ్ చేసినారు, నన్ను రిమాండ్కి పంపొద్దు అని మీ లాయర్లు అడిగినారు. కోర్టు కాదు మీరు జైలుకే పోవాలని చెప్పింది. మేమేం చేస్తాం దానికి?
Atmosphere inside the Telangana Assembly quite vitiated with the kind of explosive remarks made by both the Chief Minister Mr. Revanth Reddy as well as the BRS leader Mr. KT Ramarao. Both of them were accusing each other of political vindictiveness, and the Chief Minister Revanth Reddy said that he had been sent to 16 days in jail for allegedly or reportedly flying a drone, for which the punishment otherwise in law would only be about 500 rupees. But he alleged that the BRS government was vindictive at that time and put him in jail for 16 days, kept him away from everyone else. He was kept in a cell meant for ISI or extremists like Naxalites, and he said there were insects and lizards and lights would not be put off even at night, and he could not sleep for 16 days and would in fact come out when the prisoners were let out in the morning and sleep under a tree for all that duration. And he even said that he would take MLAs and ministers to show what kind of conditions he was put through. He also made a reference to the earlier time in prison when he said that he was not allowed to even go around and distribute the invitation cards for his daughter's wedding, and all this he attributed to the vindictiveness of the BRS government, and he claimed that he was not being vindictive, and if he had been so, he would have put the entire Kalvakuntla family inside Chanchalguda or Cherlapalli jail. K.T. Ramarao reacted to that, saying that Revanth Reddy had not gone to jail for in some freedom struggle as a freedom fighter, and that Revanth Reddy tolerate it if a drone was flown over his Jubilee Hills, what he called as palace, and said would he be amused if his wife and daughter were photographed in that manner. And K.T. Ramarao said that his own family had been attacked, and there were slanderous things that were spoken about him, and his own minor children as well were abused and targeted as well by Revanth Reddy, is what K.T. Ramarao put forth. So while all this exchange can be considered as political, slang fest that you can call it, but what I must point out is that there have been tensions between the two sides, and both these Chief Minister's office, Revanth Reddy's office, as well as KTR's office have been projecting this as one-upmanship on their part, that they made the points better inside the assembly, even as the entire state was watching.
Well, joining us now is Revanth Reddy, political editor of Hindu Telangana. We also have Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson of the BRS. We have Rachna Reddy, who represents the BJP. She's the BJP spokesperson here in this debate. And we also have Rohit Pravmeneni, who's the spokesperson of Telangana Congress. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. To you, Revanth Reddy, to Sridhar Reddy first. Sir, you represent the BRS. Tell us the Chief Minister's comment about 16 harrowing nights in jail, saying that flying a drone would otherwise, ensure a jail of, or maybe a penalty of just 500 rupees. But he was kept in jail for 16 days in solitary confinement in a cell that is meant only for terrorists and Maoists with these big lizards. Clearly, this was an emotional speech, but at the center of all of this was the fact that he's attacking this family, saying that this family made me do this, but I am using a lot of wisdom and my governance is not vindictive. How do you see this political narrative of his, this pitch of his, because, he has the numbers on his side?
No, I really don't understand. What is that Mr. Revanth Reddy was trying to communicate? On the floor of the House, is it that you are supposed to speak how your days were in jail and all that? Is that the forum to discuss all these things basically? What are you trying to communicate? It is only gain some sympathy out of what happened, or has happened in the past. Now, he was saying that, KCR government put me in jail, which is wrong. Because the judges will decide in the police bouquet case, based on the complaints, if the judge concerned takes a decision that he should be sent for remand, the police will implement it and he will be sent to the jail. Where to put him in the jail? How to treat him in the jail? Is it the job of a chief minister or a minister concerned? I'm really surprised, a chief minister speaking this language. And if he was trying to communicate that the government of Sri KCR was influential or doing that and all, it was not at all correct, number one. Number two, what are you trying to communicate? Are you showing us a mercy? We are not on anybody's mercy. We always were saying from the beginning, when you are making so many allegations on various issues on BRS party or our party leaders, you are in the power, you are in the government, you are at liberty to file cases if you have any proofs on those allegations. And let the law take its own course. We are here to fight out. You people, rather you government, the ACB department has booked cases on KTR in Formula E-race case. We never said no. He went for the, he attended the inquiry session. And we have approached court also. We as a responsible political party and our leaders, we will, we are law-abiding citizens. We respect the judiciary. And whatever cases you want to book on it. We are not on your mercy. Don't try to show that mercy on us. Okay. You don't have to. A chief minister on the floor of the House, wasting the valuable time of all the concerned there, trying to narrate his own story to make some sympathy out of it. It's not going to help. Neither it is going to help the state.
Okay.
I'm really surprised. And at the same time, KTR also has said, right, while you were making allegations on their families, on their family members, even children, was that correct actually? What is that Revanth Reddy ji was saying? Rather using drone on private properties, if it is illegal, did you do it knowingly? Knowingly, it was only a rupees 500 fine case, so we don't have to worry about it. Let us fly the drones without any official permission on private properties. Is it correct? As Mr. KTR asked him on the floor of the House, is it correct tomorrow if me or somebody or anyone for that matter go and fly the drones, collect photographs on private properties?
Okay. Let me
Can
ask
we
this question
really
to the
appreciate
Congress spokesperson. The BRS party, the spokesperson has clearly said that they are not at your mercy and the party believes the judiciary. Rohit, last week the Telangana High Court also quashed the complaint, noting first that the area had not been declared a prohibited zone and that there has been no mention of KTR or his farmhouse in the police complaint. The second, that the charges in the FIR also refer to misapplied provisions. So clearly, what is the Chief Minister trying to do here? And do you agree with the BRS spokesperson's observations that he is trying to use this issue for his own sympathy?
Look, you got to remember, he's the current Chief Minister of the state. What is he going to do with sympathy? It's not that he's an opposition leader and trying to gain the trust of the voters. He is the ruling Chief Minister. On the floor of the House, if the Chief Minister is narrating what has happened in his 16 days of harrowing sorrow in the jail, what is wrong with that? I think the people have a right to know that it was all done because you got to understand, Mr. Revanth Reddy ji, he was single-handedly, he brought a Congress party back into power. And there was always a grudge, whether it is Mr. KTR, whether it was his father, the former Chief Minister KCR, they always looked at Mr. Revanth Reddy as a threat. You've got to keep that in perspective. So yes, there is a permissible, punishable offense for each crime, but to go beyond that, and if you look at the narrative that the Chief Minister has laid on the floor of the House, how horrific were those details? Is he a terrorist? Has he done any crime that the nation has to be worried? It was absolutely horrific on the part of the government to actually put him through that. And I do not buy into this government. I do not buy into this argument by the spokesperson saying that, we got nothing to do with it. It's the courts that decide. But hang on, who lays the charge sheet? Who lays the charge sheet, first of all? Charge sheet is laid by the police, and the police directly or reports to the government.
Right.
Only after that the court actually decides, and the court is not going to say you're guilty or not. It may, in its own merit, say okay, go to remand. But it's who actually files the charge sheet. The point is, the government at that point was very, very afraid of Revanth Reddy's personal and political, relevance, and they wanted to do anything that was possible to squash his spirit. So that's got to be taken in that context.
Quickly, a comment from Sridhar Reddy before I move on to Rachna.
Police files the charge sheet, that's right, but the trial happens in court only. Rachna Reddy also is there.
But sir, that's an important argument that the police filed the charge sheet.
Let's not go about the legal jargon here.
As a lawyer,
let Sridhar Reddy speak. I'll come to Rachna next.
Police would have filed the charge sheet based on the facts what they found after the investigation. But there must be a defense lawyer also. Listen, boss, there must be a defense lawyer from Revanth Reddy's side. I'll just give you an example. On Sri Harish Rao, former minister, a person from Siddipet has filed a complaint on phone tapping. After 3, trial sessions, the court has quashed the petition. Here also, police has filed a charge sheet. There was a PP from the government also has spoken on behalf of the complainant, if I am right, as per the information I know. Standard, subject to correction. But see, you are finding fault with the judges who gave the verdict to send him that day remand. You want to say that that day's judge has not understood the police charge sheet.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
You want to create such an impression, you don't even have respect for judiciary.
Okay, Rohit, would you like to say something before I go to the other guest?
No. I just want to make the point. I've never said I found anything found with the judge's statement. I simply laid out the fact that the charge sheet was actually made by the police, which reports to the state government.
That's an important point. Let me go to Rachna now. Rachna, it looks like more than the BJP, it is the BRS that is playing this role of opposition, taking on the Congress party. And this is despite your party significantly performing well in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, winning about 8 seats. Is the BJP caught up too much in its own fights and groupism? How do you look at this issue? Why do we see this only as BRS versus Congress? Where is the BJP in this?
Because here, this conversation was simply juvenile and completely about one-upmanship. I mean, it was about Revanth Reddy trying to play the sympathy card that he uses again and again and again, without even coming out and discussing policy. The day that this juvenile conversation and juvenile one-upmanship happened, they were supposed to discuss an important bill relating to consumerism. But keeping that aside, Revanth Reddy indulges in sympathy card. I mean, what did he go? See, first of all, as a sitting MP, I mean, how does he have the right to fly a drone on anybody's house? Yes, it has been quashed right now based on technicalities, but who is he? Who is Revanth Reddy? Is he a law enforcement officer? Is he has he been charged with any kind of law enforcement and security activity? Who is he? To find out whether some property is legal or illegal, there are other legal avenues. But as a sitting MP, he should be embarrassed. What happened in Telangana Assembly, ma'am, was an embarrassing incident where dirty laundry of each other's family was being aired in public. And Revanth Reddy has the audacity to talk about 16 days. What has he done to journalists recently? Women journalists were picked up from their houses at 5 o'clock in the morning just because they were interviewing certain women farmers. Certain farmers in villages. It was not even an opinion that the women journalists were giving, taking one side or the other. They were interviewing farmers. He had them picked up. He has the audacity to talk about himself. Well, the claims about insects and lizards and the light being on, they're just claims. Why should anybody trust him? And
That's a very important point. I have to go to Ravikant Reddy. He's been waiting.
Revanth Reddy did not go to jail for any
Yes,
kind
ma'am,
of
point
important
taken.
activity.
Yes,
He
Rohit,
went
I'll come to
jail
you. I need a
under the
response from that.
vote
But
for
first,
vote scam
Ravikant
and
Reddy.
for flying a drone.
Okay. Ravikant Reddy, thank you so much for patiently waiting, sir. This jailing of political rivals, we saw that in Andhra Pradesh with both Jagan first and then Chandrababu Naidu. Now, is it becoming a trend in Telangana too? Because there are 3 years to go for assembly elections. It's not like there's elections coming up in the state of Telangana. How do you see this battle becoming extremely personal between KTR and Revanth Reddy?
Well, this battle has been personal between Revanth Reddy and Mr. KCR's family for the last 4-5 years, ever since he took over as a working president of Congress after joining from TDP. Now, Mr. Revanth Reddy's aim was very clear. He wanted to be politically, benefit from the fight, and he did. And in fact, I think he single-handedly fought Mr. KCR, and people believed him, and they got him power. Now, yesterday's speech of Mr. Revanth Reddy in the assembly has to be looked into context, because his speech came in the context of Mr. KTR saying some FIRs were booked against Mr. KTR in a question paper leak, which was not a big case actually. It was just for spreading news that some question paper was leaked, and before that. 2 YouTubers were arrested, who allegedly work from the office of Mr. KTR, who are promoted by Mr. KTR. So Mr. Revanth Reddy's speech has to be looked in that context. And as far as coming of this confrontation between 2 political parties, obviously everyone is trying to see them above their political opponents, and jailing, I think, in fact, it has become quite a joke in the political circles and media circles in Telangana, that whoever goes to jail becomes, the chief minister. In fact, even in Andhra Pradesh, it happened with Jagan, it happened with Chandrababu Naidu, it happened with Revanth. Now, if Mr. KTR is sent, in fact, Mr. KTR himself said that, everyone who is sent to jail will become the CM. I am also ready to go to jail, and I'll become the CM. Okay. So in that context, you cannot really take it seriously that, this one-upmanship, but, it has to be looked from the political point of view, where BRS is quite strong in attacking the Congress government, and Mr. Revanth Reddy is again giving it back to the BRS. And unfortunately, the response from the government comes only in the form of Mr. Revanth
Mr. Reddy, also help me understand this. In some ways, Revanth Reddy's politics, has it also helped revive the BRS? Because, we did not see the BRS so aggressive a few months ago. Now, suddenly they've also become quite aggressive. KTR is at it. The other leaders are also at it. Is it something about Revanth Reddy's politics, the personal style of politics, especially the thing that he has against the family, that has also helped the BRS in some ways?
Well, I think in a certain way, yes. But I don't agree that BRS was not aggressive. BRS has been quite aggressive against the government in the last 3-4 months or 6 months, or ever since this government came. They have been very, very aggressive on their social media platforms. In fact, it was the government which was on the defensive. So, in fact, the social media platforms of the Congress party or the government, have not been able to take on the BRS the way BRS has been, taking on this government.
Right.
So, it actually, the entire now, has fallen on to the CM himself. And now, so people obviously, it's only when the CM speaks against the BRS, it gets the media high, it gets into the limelight.
Right.
Whether it's in the media or social media. So people tend to think that there's a lot of attack from the.
Okay, let me get a comment from Rohit. Rohit, Rachna and Revanth Reddy both have pointed to this one fact that Revanth Reddy perhaps is also using measures that he's accusing KCR's family of jailing people, which Revanth Reddy is also saying that has become a joke in Telangana. How do you see this? Clearly, nobody wants a chief minister furthering a trend which is not good for society.
Look, before I just comment on that, I just want to lay it on record. I just want to, directly speak to the BJP spokesperson. Ma'am, you're referring to a sitting chief minister of the state. I think it's only courteous to call him by at least the chief minister of the state or Revanth Reddy Garu or Revanth Reddy Ji. Just to keep on saying Revanth Reddy, Revanth Reddy, Revanth Reddy. It just shows that, that's just wrong in my view. That's
no,
fine.
I think this is English.
Yeah.
Come on,
But anyway,
Rohit, this is English. I think this is perfectly fine.
All you want.
To conveniently say, no,
by their names.
ma'am,
I
that was
don't
not
need to
called
be
for. That was
using
not
any
called
kind
for.
of platitudes, and I
A
don't
chief
need to
minister
be
is a
taught
chief minister,
anything by
right?
you. I'm going to be referring to him as Revanth
Anyway,
Reddy, the chief minister. So
Okay.
you
The
do
chief
not,
minister-
you
you
do
did
not
not
say
say that, but
taken,
anyway,
Rachna,
you
agree
do
with
not-
you.
you do not
Rohit,
need
finish your
to
point.
inform me of any platitudes, and please do not lecture me on a
Okay.
live debate.
Absolutely, I'm not
Because
lecturing you,
I'm
I'm
going to
making
be
a point.
referring to
I'm
him as
absolutely
Revanth
making a
Reddy
point.
only. As
I'm
I refer
absolutely
to
making
every
a point.
other
I'm not
individual
lecturing
human
you.
being
I'm not
who
here to
has a
lecture
name.
anyone. Anyway, moving on. I made my point. Moving on.
Please get
The
to your
fact-
point.
Okay, now
To
I'll have
say
to
that-
just
to say that-
take the last word from Sridhar Reddy. Sridhar Reddy,
To
sir,
say-
the spotlight
just
is
one
back
word.
on
To
the
say that
family. This has been of a disadvantage to you in the Lok Sabha elections, also in the assembly elections. Now, do you see this as an advantage to you or a disadvantage to you?
The question is not disadvantage. We are actually questioning this government from the beginning of this, Congress party assuming the power on behalf of the public. We don't have any personal agenda. ATR was a former minister. KCR was former chief minister. So they are there in the public life. And if Congress party is out to tarnish their image, that is their effort, but we are here to face it up. Because we are working for the people of Telangana and we are questioning this government on their failed promises. And
Okay.
that is the problem. There is no grudge from our side. Grudge.
Okay, completely out of time. Thank you all of you
The
for
entire
joining
frustration
me.
from the Congress party is that...
Yes, Mr. Reddy, got your point. I'm really sorry, completely out of time now. The BRS here against the Chief Minister of Telangana, Revanth Reddy, Chief Minister of Telangana, Revanth Reddy, is saying that there was political vendetta against him, but his government does not believe in being vindictive and it rules with wisdom. The BRS, meanwhile, has attacked the Congress party, Congress government for failing to deliver on its guarantees. More than 3 years to go for Telangana elections, but this state is never short of political action. With that, it's a wrap on the show. More news and updates on the other side.